Good morning, everyone. My name is Rolinda Hilbaliga, also known as Durupan as my mountain name, which means creative and innovative. So today I'm going to discuss about GINA-ISIP or thinking, recounting that connects with the different traditions from Panay, Bukidnon. So first, I would like you to know where the Panay Bukidnon is located. So we are found in four areas. Um, in so those people who lives in Libacao Aklan are called Akyanon, while people from Valderrama Antique are called Erainon, and people from Tapas and Mindan are called Panayanon, and the lastly are people from Kalinog and Lambonao are called Halabudnon. So there are so if you are trying to understand the term we use from Irainon to Halabudnon, Irainon means the head of the river, while like the local term is Iraya, while the Halabudnon are the tail of the river. Um, we call it Halawud, Ilawud. So, Panay Bukidnon are also known as Sulod. We are recognized by a Sulod Society by Dr. Iflan Dahocano during his research. And then later on, Dr. Alicia P. Magos did her research and she um, collect and uh, started to call us Panay because we are located in the central of Panay Island, and we are very rich in our culture, but some people also called us Tumandok. So it only refers to those who live and born in that area. So even if you are using Sulo, Tumandok, or Panay Bukidnon, it refers to us as a Panay Bukidnon. But now we are known as Panay Bukidnon because after Dr. Alicia P. Maga's research, um, our Gamaba or Gawan Manlika ng Bayan, Mr. Federico Caballero, uh, was being recognized by National Commission for Culture and the Arts as one of the national folk artists because he mastered the 10 epics of Panay, and this is called Sugidanon. So now, in this topic, I'm going to tackle four areas of our tradition: the Sugiranon, Panubok, Binanog, and Basal. So I'm not going to include other traditions like Binukot or um, some oral traditions like that. But the Sugiranon is there. But Hinon Anon and other chants is not here. So anyway, I will just focus on these four um, areas. So, gina-isip is my topic, which means to think, or it can be counting. So, here in the picture, I put Lolo Leopoldo. Leopoldo, he's brother of Federico Caballero. And he was doing the ritual in this picture. So, anyway, a cycle of mind. On my own perspective, it makes you think when you are using the word isip. It also refers to isip, to count or to think. Like for example, if I say sa isip ko means it's on my mind. Naisip ko, I am thinking about it. And ginaisip ko pa is like I'm still thinking. I'm still thinking about it. And they are her in counting. Ginisip ko means I count it already. Naisip, like I counted. Naisip ko yung like I already counted it. And isipaliwat means I can you recount again. And means when you say ginaisip, it means you recall, or you're recalling, or you're recounting or thinking about things. So this word is like we it's part of our practice. Like when you are chanting or when you are doing your dance, you need to think, you need to count every steps, you need to think, you also need to count every syllables. Like here, for example, in the part 1, Sugidanon. Oh, yeah. In Sugidanon, uh, we have like the first two lines. I will give you an example. So in Sugidanon, we have called pangalimog. And in pangalimog means intoning. And we are using 7 aims for the introduction. Like you are still intoning, it's like finding your voice. So for example, and then you prolong it. And that 7 M's is equivalent of 7 syllables. As you can see down here on the next line, on our left side, na di 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 nan. So it also has 7 syllables. Na di gani gadeleg detugain medengan iwan untarun lamang si ina manui punoon. So when you are chanting the Sugidanon, you try to recall the pangalimog, the intoning part. So in this phrase, you are just recalling and you are playing with the tone you use from the intoning, like so it also symbolizes the every syllables on the next line. So I want to give you a trivia about it. So the first two lines prepare the chanter as he does the voicing. So the if you can see here, the first two lines, like na di 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 nan, like that, you are preparing yourself to do the rest of the okay, the chant. In the succeeding lines, the chanter interacts with the listeners and recalls where the previous episode ended. So, if you can see here, there's Iwanon Taron lamang on the left picture, and then on the second picture on our right side, there's also Iwanon Taron lamang. That's where you are trying to recall where the chant ended in the previous story. So here, like iwanon tarun lamang mainanay magbangon mahinay magbangulay si dato labaw deng guniin sa man kuno owain mano mangkabta nga anong kahis turaha kuon silabaw donggon. So Labaw Donggon is one of the character in this story, and he was asking his wife Matanayon if what is going on. And yeah, it's a long story, but I will tell you other tricks that the word puhawa, sometimes we use puhawa in the word, means two things: the head of the body, which is cut during a duel or fight, or the head or leader of a village. So the one word has two meanings. Pwede siyang, it can be a head, a cut head, or it can be a leader of the community. And the next box, we are using the word halayan na sa banwa habdayan sa dinunan. So the ligwat or the translation of dinunan is banwa in our archaic words. But here, when you say dinunan, it means world, while banwa means village, but both words has the same meaning. When you say halayan sa banwa, habtayan sa dinunan, it means someone is entering the village or entering the place. So next is bayaw-bayaw. It's a long bamboo or wooden bench, or tuway-tuway means knees. But this one, even if there's a dash or without a dash, it also means the same meaning. So I'm going to tell you the 10 epics of Panay. So there's Tikom Kadlom, Amburokay, Derikaryong Paya, and some of this Alayaw, Pag-unong, and Nagbuhis, Kalampay, like that. Okay. So 7 M's are not only found in the lyrics, but also we are using also 7 as the layers of the world. So I'm using here the painting of Trina Nazarino, which she intricately used the ink, the pen. So there's like an ibabaw nun or upper word. This is my own interpretation of 7 layers of the word. So I'm still finding out some words. Maybe this is not right, but it's on my own layers of the word. But Trina did her painting about the different creatures of like goddess and creatures and the 7 layers of the word. So there's like ibabaw nun, here on top of the painting it's makaako, who's the one who control the world. And then Manok Banhaw, for me, it's a life restorer. Buruhisan is a deities. Dutanon is the middle world where we live. Manok Husay is the arbiter. Dadalmonon is the underworld. And Limawon is the anchor of the universe. So I'm not sure if everything is right. I'm still trying to, you know, do my research about it and asking elders if my terminology is correct. So please try to correct me if I'm wrong and if I'm explaining it wrong. So anyway, let's move on to Pito Kagibungan, the 7th station of first the Bagsang. Bagsang also has 7 heads. This is very famous in our epic chant who lives in the Limawon. In Bagsang, we believe that Bagsang has the power to control or our farming. Like if we ask Bagsang, it gives us an abundance of harvest. And next is we also use 7 in the Gibungan, means like for example in Panay rivers there's a gibungan of Takayan, gibungan of Aglinab. So it's like a barangay where and it's owned by different datos. Like for example here in Gibungan Kapinggan, Suba Kapinyungan, owned by Dato Dampig Piliw. Sorry. Gibungan Kasilangan, Suba Kapangalkagan, Gibungan ka Borokya, isubang gila-gila, Gibungan ka Bunlay, subang banay-banay, Gibungan ka Panay, subang alay-alay, Gibungan ka Banggaan, subang balunbunan, Gibungan ka Handog, subang taob-taob, by owned by Dato. So all the Dato Madapnon. So all of these Gibungan here are owned by different characters from our epic chant. And as you can see in number 5, there's a Gibungan Kapanay. It means it's already exists during that time. And we can always relate our life to the story of our epic chant. And next, here I introduce you some of our characters. I didn't include anyone, but this one, Matanayon o Madapnon, are like are just an example. So they have different names as well. Si Huganay, si Daon, si Ayon, si Buyukon, si Nguyang o Tungdan, si Pagkilalausan at Ubang Nay Sabugon, Asdang Nay Bruhisan. So it refers only to one person, but she has like a lot of names. Next, si Humadapnon, si Humadap sa kilat, si Umpod sa kurukyaw, si Baniban duungan, angga pag sambaludan, Ginoo pangharangdon, dato nga parangkoton. So what I'm trying to tell here is that people before also have like different names, like first name, second name, third name. They are given different names. Ginoong pangharangdon. If you say Ginoo pangharangdon, it also refers to Humadapnon. So we still use counting here. And here, lastly, what are the significance of the Sugidanon to the Panay Bukidnon life? So the chants speak of our early history, culture, origin, beliefs, and play an important role in our day-to-day activities. Like for example, earlier I mentioned Bagsang. Bagsang guide us in farming. While Punay, it's a pit of Humadapnon. It symbolizes peace, meekness, clock, and weather monitor. Like for example, if the Punay are gathered together and they fly all together, the people from Panay Bukidnon believes that there's like uh disaster or typhoon coming, like that. So Sugidanon is part of the history and contemporary life of us, of Panay Bukidnon, for it can be seen and observed in the way we talk, communicate, and socialize with others, as well as in the way we entertain visitors. Like for example, uh, before I experienced when some of our elders come to visit us, and my parents asked me to give them a chant, so I chant in front of them. And also I also share the story with kids, and they enjoy listening. For example, in part of Amburukai, where Labaw Donggon cut string of his instruments, and he needs to steal the golden pubic hair of Amburukai, and he put it on his kujapi, and the kujapi says, sabut-sabut kamu wa kaghindeun memudang gabeuleueun isabut kong balawan, and so on. So we also use Sugidanon in our panobok, like using the sudlikama, paku-paku, bola kaputik, like that. It speak like our design speak of the closeness of us with the nature. So we are copying or mimicking the different designs, like for example, the girigiti patching pattern symbolize the mountain, while the tugi-tugi symbolize the waves, like that, and more. So part 2, we are moving on to Panubok. And in this picture, this was my exhibit in Tribe Art in Itria, Iloilo, and it was displayed for 3 months. And yeah, it's illustration of Ibabaw nun and Idaradal mo nun, the upper and the lower cosmos. So panubok means embroidery, but panubok itself comes from the word tubok. And before that, we have the batok or the tattoo. And then because people before doesn't have any cloth, so like we are lack of any textile any cloth, so it's hard for them. They were only using the bark from the tree, and from batok, from the tattoo, they transfer it the to the tubok. So tubok means to embroider, while the tinubkan refers to the product. So here are words that I use. Sino ang nagtubok refers to the person. Ano ini nga tubok refers to the pattern. Diin ang nami nga tubok refers to the quality. And pila ka adlaw matapos ang tubok refers to the duration. Yeah. So here we have more than 20, 30 patterns, and we still have doesn't any module about it, but I'm trying like more than I think for me, I can create more than 100 of different designs of embroidery designs. But I will introduce you the some of our patterns: linen tie or the back stitch. And you can, from linen tie, you can make a bola kaputik because it also has a back stitch. And also you can make paku-paku using the linen tie pattern. And on the fourth, I will introduce the sikag-sikag because it only have a running stitch. Sudlikama also has a running stitch, and also matang punay. And here's the details. From sikag-sikag to binunghay. So what's the difference of two? In sikag-sikag, it only has one. Sikag-sikag means a fishbone. So it only has one arrow, like a V. And while binunghay, you already added the mini waves. So in this design, I can also say that there's an M to M, a pattern like mirror to mirror, because what you can see in front, it also appears at the back of this embroidery. So you can also use the technique side by side, like facing each other, or you can do ups and downs, like because the pattern says also ups and downs, and you can always follow it by doing the by now taking the space and the line, like making uh stairs, like ladder. So this is how it looks like. So when you only use one V, it's called sikag-sikag, while if you are using if you are continuing and making more V, it's called binunghay. So let's measure it. Let's use the ISIP here. So when you are making the single pattern of sudlikama, you need two strands of thread. So two strands, and you need to make 5 running stitch. So 5 running stitch, 5 lines in the right side, 5 lines in the left side, and then 1 in the middle. The total of 11 lines, total lines, you can already create one eye of the sudlikama, single sudlikama. While in the double pattern, you need to add 2. So instead of 5 running stitches, you need to make 7 running stitch. And then from lines, you also need to add 2 more. So instead, 4, because you are creating 2 diamonds in the center, in the middle. So 9 lines in right side, 9 lines in the left side, and another one in the center, because in the center you are making the eye. So same here, it's also mirror to mirror. What you did in the right side, you also need to do in the left side. So if you make a total of 19 lines, you can already create the double pattern of sudlikama. What's the measurement of sudlikama? So based on my own pattern and my own style of sudlikama, in one eye is one eye is equivalent of 2 inches. So I measure it because but it's not really fixed, because some people are making big, some people are making small, so it's not fixed, depends on the stitch you did. So from one eye is equivalent of 2 inches length times 19 rounds. As you recall earlier, we have like total of 19 lines. So 2 inches times 19 lines is equals the total is 38. And you divided by 3, because the straight the skin thread is composed of 6 pieces, so you only need to take 2 strands for it. So for one skin thread, it has 6 strands. So in 12 inches, so when you make one sudlikama, you will consume 12 inches. I don't know if I'm not really good in mathematics, but I'm just trying to measure what I made. So in one matang punay, if you say I say one eye, it only composed of one diamond here with a eye in the middle. So one eye is equivalent of 1/2 inch. Here in the picture below, you can see I have a tape measure here, and yeah, it's 1/2, and you times it for 9 rounds because it composed of 9 rounds, 9 lines. So 0.5 times 9 divided by 3 is equivalent of 1.5 inches for each eye of matang punay. You need to help me with the mathematics. Anyway, let's move on to the part 3, which is Binanog. Binanog is a traditional dance of Panay Bukidnon that features the movement of an eagle. Have you heard about Banog? That's a hawk eagle. To the symbolic beating of bamboo, drum, and gong that synchronizes the pulsating movements of the feet and the hands of the dancer. So without the music, we cannot dance. We can dance, but unless you are an expert and you can do the ta-ta or the humming. Before we are using, if there's no gong and drum, we use the bamboo percussions like the tikombo, the bamboo buzzer, and the bamboo cordophone. In Binanog, we have also the gender mode. So why I connect this to my topic? Because every time you dance, you need to count your step, like in sad, for example. In talda, you need to do left and right, and at the same time you need to also to move your hands up and down, and you need to think what's the next movement. So I'm going to introduce here the 2 gender mode of the Binanog, the tigbabayi and tiglalaki. So tigbabayi refers to a solo female dance, while tiglalaki refers to the couple dance. And we also have down here, you can see lupit. It's a love triangle where 2 female dancer and 1 male dancer dance together. In tigbabayi, there's a different rhythmic pattern. One of this is gerilinda or barakonda. And tiglalaki, there's a lot of rhythmic patterns. So some of them are talda, dalunga, purungo, turuba, palpal. Like. And for me, there's also a different style and movement. There's an old and new. Like when you are very slow, we call it malumanay. It means you are like dancing the old or unique binanog dance. While mawagos mostly refers to the new generation who move very fast. And I also use different movement here. The ripaso, istuyong, kai, gordon, and so on. So boses in some people, like in the city, boses refers to our voice, but in Panay Bukidnon, it refers to the movement, to the style, to the footwork. So some of our bosses are bayhunan. Bayhunan is like introduction. You are preparing yourself to. So we are using right and left movement, like walking. 1, 2, 1, 2. And while the isduyong, one of our my example is sumpali, is means you are trying to rest but you're still moving, you're still dancing. You just need to pose and move your shoulder in the same position, but you are trying to think what's the next movement you dance. Sad is one of the body in Binanog dance. So I put tipa tipa here because that's one of my favorite moves, different footsteps of my dad. So it's like 1 2 3 to the right, and 1 2 to the left. So it's like alternate. So 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 3 1 2, but it should synchronize. It must synchronize to the music. Lastly, the pinanyo. We have hulog lalaw in pinanyo, where you are using two handkerchief and you need to uh, like leave the other one for you to be able to, when you are grieving, when someone died in your family, so you are trying to leave all the sadness, and for you to be able to express yourself and to dance the binanog. Lastly, the basal, or the playing musical instruments. So we have different musical instruments. One of our major instruments is the gong and drum. We call it agong and tambol. And then bamboo percussions. We have also similarity with other ethnic groups like bamboo buzzer, the flute, the bamboo cordophone, tikombo, and juice harp. And lastly, we are also in dance. We also use tata, is something we chant. It's like rap, Harley, 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 Kylie, kay lawas malubay, pungko mahinay, magkiay-kiay, like that. So, music and dance tradition. In Panay Bukidnon, it's a symbol of the community because without it, we cannot be recognized. We cannot be one as a community. So it also a limitation of the banog. Movements mimic the flight of the bird, courtship with entertainment. So also when we are being gathered together, we also uh, invite other people to join us, especially in the wedding, like hungaw. So we can like there's an arrendador where he pick the pair from different community, like different barangay, and they dance together in they dance the binanok. So before I end this video, I also use the CBUD, which is the research of Dr. Maria Christine Moico. She have a book, Gasibo Daya, and she explained further about the music and the dance of the Panay Bukidnon. So in CBUD, before you make the CBUD or the synchronize, so here the synchronize, you need to do the suno, the convention, the salo, to catch it up. Hampang is to play, santo is to synchronize, and then tayuyon is to make it flow. These are the terms that we use when we are dancing the binanog. As it also refers, sibod also refers as a harmonious life practice, a unitary direction in achieving one's goals, synchronicity with one's principle and ideas, synchronicity with the people around us, and within the larger domain of life. So when you say gazebo, it also composed of the yaw, the traditional attire, the basal, the musical instruments, and the dance itself, the binano. And I think that's it for today. Thank you for listening to my presentation.